welcome to Get Celebritized, another episode where I help you earn more so you can live more, live big, live vivaciously, live on purpose, and so you can give back more to the people and the causes that matter most to you. I'm Aurea McGarry, and I'm your host, and I'm so excited to bring you amazing guests each and every week here to enlighten you and inspire you on how you can do just that. Earn more, live more, and give more. So today is no exception. I'm bringing on a wonderful guest, Chella Diaz, and I really was inspired to bring her on to introduce her to you because she's a woman on a mission to help women get paid more, to help women get paid what they're worth and what they desire, and stop hiding their light behind a bushel and stop getting paid less, because in this day and age, you can get paid what you're worth, ladies. So grab another friend, grab some girlfriends, come on over and watch, because I'm going to introduce you right now to the founder of the Diamond Method, helping women get paid what they're worth, none other than Chella Diaz. Come on up, come on down, Chella, woohoo! Welcome to the show.
Oh, it is a pleasure to be here. I love that intro. I love your energy, and I'm honored to be here with you today.
It's my honor, Chella. I love meeting great women that are helping women do great things, whatever it is, whether it's bouncing back from an obstacle or a comedy or tragedy, or whether it's, taking that next step to make their little girl dreams come true. And yes, great men watch this show too, but I love it. We can really pour into some of the ladies out there because we wear so many hats and we tend to give up on our dreams when we hit that magical number of like 40 or 45. We think, well, it's all downhill from now, when guys are thinking they're just getting started. Well, ladies, we're just getting started too. So Chella, tell us about who you are right now. What is this Diamond Method? And I want the ladies to really lean into you. So tell us about who you are and the successes you've had so we can learn from you.
The Diamond Method coaching was born out of doing a lot of personal development work, ladies, which started after the divorce.
Oh, the big D. Oh, how long ago was that?
That was 20 years ago.
Okay.
Where I went on my personal journey, spiritual journey, wanted to know what was my gift. How could I be of help? How could I serve? And along that journey, working with other women, I found my calling. And that you mentioned something that was crucial. It's like that little girl. And as a little girl, I didn't feel I had a voice. I didn't feel that my voice really mattered. Right? That my opinion didn't really count. And nothing against anybody else, right? But it's just what it was at the time, right? Little girls didn't have a voice. And so as I went on my spiritual journey and discovered my gifts, and my gifts is seeing the bigger picture and helping those women chunk it down so they can take action steps. Right? Have their voice. It goes back to me. I got to tell you, I want to help women feel safe about shining their light, no matter what anybody else is saying around you. Mm-hmm. The criticisms, you can't do that, or no, that won't work. Right? At the end of the day, we know we have a gift, but you also said something very important. Women, we wear a lot of different hats, which other people don't. And because we wear them, and because we have been doing this for so long, we take that for granted. Oh, if it's second nature to me.
Right.
No, right. And that's where I think it's like when we've been to see that we have the skill set, that it is safe for us to charge for that because it's second nature to us. But that means somebody outside of us is willing to pay for that. Mm-hmm. If nothing else, if they can just take that away, our job for the day is done.
Well, I want to ask you a question because I want to dive a little bit deeper into when you got that aha moment, like when you started getting paid what you were worth, which helped you tell other women how to do this as well. Because we know we love to take advice from people who are where we want to be. But I'm going to tell you a true story, and I want your insight on it. Are you willing to do that for me?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And just for the audience, this is not practice. This is
I love
about this. It's like getting two amazing women talking real talk.
I'll tell you, if everybody knows me, they know things just come to me and I am so unscripted. So they're like, oh my God, Ray, how do you do that? It just, these things come to me. And it just came to me as you said that it reminded me of a story. And I've told this story before intermittently in some other places, but it really, you ever hear a story on the news? And I love watching the news, like Good Morning America is one of my favorite shows. I love staying up with current events for the most part. If it gets too political or too bad, I shut it off. But I love just kind of staying in the know, just so I have, you don't know what's going on around me, because I love television and I love media and I work in the media. But this story on Good Morning America was several years ago and I have never forgotten it. And you, my dear, are the perfect person. I want your insight on this because I'll tell the story, but then I never really get like somebody's opinion on it because it is what it is. But I want your insight on it. All right, here you go. True story on Good Morning America. You can probably look it up. It was several years ago. And I'll never forget this. They had a crew go in to do a test. And they set up a fake, one of those, what do you call it? Testers. Like when you go in to do a test, what do they call that?
Like a demo?
Like a survey. Yeah, like surveys. And they had the same amount of men, the same amount of women come in. They wanted to get their opinions. And it was behind the screen. They had like the two-way mirror. And they told them as they were coming in to do their survey, kind of like a secret shopper. And they told all the men and women at the same time, okay, we need your opinion on, I forget what they need their opinion on, but you're going to go in, fill out the survey, give your opinion on this. You're going to get either $5 or $10 for your opinion. So that's all they said. So at the same time, everybody, they all went in. They did their survey, gave their opinion, did all the stuff they had to do, and they come out. And this was on TV. And they said, every single woman and every single man, they handed their $5. And they said, thank you so much for your time. Here's your $5. Every single woman said thank you and walked out. Every single man said, how do I get $10? Women didn't even question. They took the 5. The men said, you said 5 or 10. How do I get the 10? It was instinctively, how do I get the 10? Women was, thank you. What do you say about that? What does that say about us?
I wish I could have perfected, right? It goes back to that voice, right? We were not trained, if you will, to question anybody, right? We were not. Where it just,
you get what you get.
We want to play the nice game, right? We want to be able to follow the rules. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that even if we, in that same scenario and there's a different survey where it was done where a man goes in for a job, men and women go for the same job. The woman is going to take whatever that offer is, whatever the contract is. The man is going to say, and this is key, ladies, is that the best you can do?
Ooh, I like that question. Is that the best you can do? That's not controversial. And that's not argumentative. I like that. Right. A woman can say that. That's reluctant to say anything.
Right. And we're not saying no, we're not taking it. Right. And that's what I love about this. I actually did a weekend event and a negotiation event. It was a negotiation. And that's where I learned, right. Even just those simple words, is that the best you can do? Right? Because men are going to say that.
Yeah.
But for us ladies, what if we start saying, is that the best you can do? Right? We're not. We're just saying. So the men got additional vacation. Right? They got additional perks. Mm-hmm. So it's not always just about the money, but it's it's the extras, right? So now I have an additional week vacation, or I have, tickets to go somewhere. So it's about asking, is that the best you can do? And this could be for anything that we're negotiating on.
You have not because you ask not. The guys ask and the women just say thank you and walk out. Now we're making a big blanket. There's a lot of women that know how to negotiate. It's a lot of women that have this and they got this space, which is great. So we just want to talk, let the other of women. And I know I'm the one that would just say thank you and would have walked out. So I'm talking to myself as well. So just for anyone that needs that extra boost, that woman, that new, college graduate that's wondering, can you make it in a man's world? If we can give you a little extra confidence, say, just ask and just, show up knowing you can get what you deserve. We can get paid what we're worth. We can get paid the male salary. You can design your own company, make more than the guys. I mean, Oprah and a million other women have shown us how to do that for sure. So it can be done. But I like to have people on, like like you, Chella, that really talk about bringing it down to here's a few simple things. You might not think you can conquer the world like Oprah, but could you say that in your next negotiation job interview? Is that the best you can do? I think that's so great and so simple. What other like simple tips can you give us without giving all your secret sauces away? Because
Well,
I want them to chime into you.
I love it. I love this. I love this idea. So let's talk about the women out there that are providing a service, right? We talked about the many different hats that we use. This is going to help you increase your fees because this is about the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's about can we increase our fees? I want
Right.
you to make a list of the benefits your clients experience.
Okay, list the
Right?
benefits.
What do they say to you after they work with you? And if you're thinking, okay, well, you know what? I'm new. I don't have any clients. If you're getting ready to do this business, it tells me that you've already been helping people some way. So even if we're not paid clients, what were the benefits? When I did this for one of my clients, the list was over 100. Right?
Wow.
So just make a list. So
The
let's
benefits
say,
you give that
right,
your
what do you
clients
get?
get.
What do they get? Where they
Okay.
started here, after they work with you, they ended up there. What pain did you solve? How did you make your services, how did they make their life easier or better? When you finish telling, and this is words from your clients, you finish this list, let's say safely, you're going to have 25 things on that list, right? Because
Okay.
that's about average, a little
Sure.
bit more. So let's just go really low. 25 things on that list. If you look at that list and then you look at the current pricing that you have, doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter what that is, because you wear so many hats, because you have so many gifts. That's not going to match, right? But we're not going to leave you there because I want to take you to the next step. Now that you know the value that you bring, and now you know the price point is, I want you to put 3 prices on the little postie. Just, I like colors, so I usually do 3 different colors. Can be all white, whatever it is. Put it up on one
Right.
page, but I want you to put 3 different prices. Has to be on 3 separate pieces of paper. There's a reason for that. Put up 3 prices and put it in a place where you can see it daily, preferably a couple of times a day. And one of those prices, I know this, we're not getting into the woo-woo part
This
yet,
is good.
but
Keep going. I like it.
one of those prices is just going to talk to you. It's going to jump at you. It's going to say, because now you have a list.
Yeah.
So your mind is already thinking, okay, so that list is more in alignment with this price point.
Should you look at your competitors and see what your competitors are doing?
That's a very, very good question. That's a $5,000 question. I usually give that. I give a price on my questions. That's a good, and I believe that we need to know what they're doing. However, we can never base our pricing based on what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we have the same training, we bring our own experiences into the game. So there's a lot of people that do that. And I believe that it's important that we know what they're doing and what their pricing is. However, right, when it comes, you have your own skill set. You know what transformation you bring to the table.
Right.
And we don't want to get into the price game war. It just doesn't work.
The only reason I said that, and tell me your opinion on this, because I work with basically 99.9% women. And so many times they have come to me to work with me because I help them profit. So why is profit for being you? And it's about, how they get in TV, media, podcasting, all the good stuff. And when they come to me, I like them to come with me with a business because through podcasting and TV show hosting, they can gain new clients. So it's really important that they have that great customer journey, which is where I want to tap you into my clients as well, because I think this is going to be really good for them as well. But I found so many times their prices for all their value was so low because they were so afraid to charge any more than like this little tiny amount. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do you realize? I mean, they were like thousands of dollars lower than anyone else in the industry that I'd ever heard of that did what they did. And I would talk and say, I try to hire somebody that does what you do. Do you know how much they charge me for that? And you're giving all of this, but they were so low. What do you do in that instance? That's why I say know what your industry is doing so you're not so below the fold. Or in the other words, I'm sure there's anyone, male and women, they're so too high, because in different climates you need to adjust your prices to reflect what your industry is doing. Tell me your insight on that.
Absolutely. And you're right. And I totally agree that we need to see what they're doing. But I also believe that we don't, it's not a, pricing game necessarily. We
Right.
need to know what they're doing. But unfortunately, it's important that we do that. But women, we separate ourselves. We think, oh, they can do that. I can't.
Hmm.
Right? They like, oh, they can get away with that. And right, it goes back to thank you for that $5 versus, right? So this is why it's an inside game. You knowing the value that you bring, you knowing that list. And I like the list because it's visual, right?
Mhm.
You get to see, there's no, I call them monkey chatter. There's no monkeys getting in the way, right?
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
It's there. The list is there.
Okay.
And so let us just say that your price is $495, right? When you see this list, it is very possible that you're like, oh my God, they have all this. What if we do $995? What if we do $1,200? Right? And then after you get to that point, this is the magic. So I tell my clients, go out and enroll 3 people at that price point. Right? Because you got to, there's certain things you have to go through. There's the little monkeys and the body and everything is going to fight. But what if once you land those 3 clients at that price point, then you're ready to increase and go to the next level?
So you're kind of on that same playing field. I had a coach one time that said, ask for what you can with a straight face. Like when you really feel confident, like this is a fair price for what I'm doing, you can ask for it. And it's that lower hanging fruit that you get 3 quick, easy yeses that and that way, like what you're saying, then you can increase and make sure they're getting great value. So is it in that kind of playing field?
Absolutely. Because once you have those 3, right, to go from 495, let's say down to 995, we're taking the stairs. So we started at the ground floor. Eventually we want to be in the penthouse, right? We want to be at the $25,000 ticket, whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
Or maybe not. Maybe that's not for
No,
everybody,
it's
but
not
we
for
definitely
everybody.
want to get to that. So we start on the first level, and then you get to the 3rd level, and you increase it, and then you get those easy yeses, and then the confidence grow up because now the list is growing because this is an ongoing list.
Right.
The ongoing list is going to say every time you add, okay, what are my clients? What are the benefits? So the bigger the list of transformation, the higher the price.
That's good. The bigger the transformation, the higher the price. That's really good. How did you come upon this? What really gave you this aha moment to say, I really need to strategize this and help women get these big results? So where was that aha moment to say this needs to be the diamond method?
The aha moment, and actually this was right, we're ever always evolving and changing. The aha moment came to me when I was working with women, I was coaching them, but every single one of them was making more money after they worked with me. So the aha was like,
Nice.
wait, I don't need to. So my first step is I guide women to identify and release money drama from childhood. That's it. Because once you let go of that, then you make more money. But people were not interested in identifying, releasing the money drama because they're like, what does that have to do with me? So that's why I changed it. My aha moment is like, wait, if they're making more money, why not start with that? That's the key. I help you make more money. They don't care how I help them. They just want the results.
How long does it take to get the results usually on average when they start working with you?
That is the $25,000 question.
Ooh, I went up. I went from a $5,000 question to $25,000 question.
My most recent client was able to, within 1 week after the first session, because we don't know what we're carrying, ladies. We carry the programming and the baggage. Once we identify and release and let that go, it opens up. Imagine that we have a plate packed with junk food. Nothing wrong with junk food. I do that. But once you release and you let go some of the junk, it opens up possibilities and you make room for new things to show up in your life.
True.
So this person signed up 3 new clients within 1 week after one session. And I have her testimonial on my LinkedIn page. So it's real, it's there, it's live. And that's exactly what she said. So sometimes it's as quick as one session.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 3 sessions, depending on where the person is. And to quite honest, is depending on how much baggage, right? Do we have an overnight bag or do we have 3 suitcases?
I love that. How much baggage do you have? Do you have any kind of, we like to talk about this too. Do you have any, and you don't have to say names, obviously, do you have any failures? Like somebody that just didn't get it, couldn't do it for whatever reason? Talk to us about maybe some of the things that stopped that woman from doing it, with, of course, out saying names.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I do. And totally transparent, because this is not about just bringing you, no, this is about the real deal. So yes, she did not want to do any of the work.
Oh, there's not a magic pill. We can't just take a magic pill.
No, you gotta do that.
Work is a 4-letter word. I got it.
And I gotta be honest, that was my first request for a refund, which I gave. Right. Because we, at that point in time, right, it's the same old thing. It's like, we can take a horse to the water.
Yeah, make them drink.
And at the beginning, she wanted all the results. She wanted to do this, 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 and this. I said, great. But if you're not willing to do the work, it's not going to work.
What was the obstacle? Because we've all heard this, especially those of us who are coaches. We know that was one of the first things many years ago we put into our contract, that you must do the work. We cannot do the work for you. It's just like a coach of a gymnastic team or a coach of a football team. The coach isn't in there playing the game. Those players have to play the game, get on those barbells, whatever. That's the only thing they can't do. You have to do the work. But what was some of the things, like, you think, well, why would you join up and not be willing to do the work? It's your business. You've got to, of course, do the work. Chella can't do the work for Aurea. Aurea can't do the work for Chella. So what were some of the things that just were not doable for that person? You know, what do you think that stumbling block was?
Well, for her, it was, she didn't think it was going to work. Oh, I don't think that's going to work. Right? We were talking about specific strategy for LinkedIn. Right?
Okay.
I have 5 pillars to my program, and one of the pillars is LinkedIn. Right? How do you show up on LinkedIn? All of that. And for her, it's like, oh no, that's not going to work. Okay, well, how do we know it's not going to work?
Not even willing to try.
Right? We got to do the steps. And also, even, whatever the strategy is, whatever the calls are, it's like, if you already come in with, it's not going to work, I got to tell you, you're right. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's about that mindset.
So hindsight, do you have any questions now in your pre-application to work with you that would prevent you from working with somebody like that just has that attitude? Like, do you ask any specific questions to help avert clients like that just aren't willing to do the work because they don't think it's not their time, they're just going to be more argumentative? Do you help alleviate that pain before you take on a client now because of that situation?
Oh, absolutely. Let's give that a $5,000.
We're going to make the money.
Yeah. Now is how much time are you willing to invest into this program?
Nice. Okay. That's a good one.
Right? Because if they're said, well, I'm not, right? And also along with that is, I have a system that has worked. I've been doing this for over 20 years, 10 years. Sometimes I'm going to ask you to do things, even if you don't believe. Are you willing to trust this process? Not trust me, because it's not about me. It's, are you willing to trust the process?
And if they say no, do you say, see ya?
Not for me. We're not a fit. And I think that brings up a $50,000 point here.
I'm making bank.
And that is, ladies, we sometimes take on clients that we know are not a fit.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We do.
And been there, done
that they're going to be the challenge. And listen, I've been there. I've been there. We needed to keep the lights on, and we took on that client because we thought, and that's part of it. But also, ladies, this is where I see a lot of us end up, is we are wanting to help somebody. We know where they are. We know where they need to be, and we know we are the solution. However, if they don't know, If they don't trust themselves, there's nothing we can do to motivate them, to inspire them to take the actions to get themselves there.
Hmm.
Right. So I'm actually going to do a LinkedIn Live
Oh,
because
good.
I've come across just last week 3 people where I know where they are, I know where they need to go, but unfortunately, they're just not ready.
And there's nothing you can do about it if they're not ready. Like you said, you've got all the water, but you can't make them drink. And I believe when the time is right, the teacher will appear. And tell me what you think. Many times I've had people come to me, months or years later, ready to work with me. But when I first met them, they weren't ready. Have you had that happen to you?
Oh, absolutely. The one client, we were connected, and I do work with men one-on-one. My group is only for women, and 2 years. He watched my content on LinkedIn. He followed me, never made any comments, never liked anything. And 2 years later, he became a client. So I say
Be
this, ladies, just
consistent.
right. People may not make a comment on your post. People may not do anything. However, they're watching. You never know. So 2 years, and then he became a client.
That's such a case in point. That's why I tell people around me, always encourage them to, be a podcaster, be a TV show host, be a video marketer, if nothing else, but be consistent. Do something that's simple, that's not too complicated each and every week where people can experience you and your expertise and the way your mannerisms are. Like, I know that I talk fast, I know I'm high energy, I know can really, I want you to get to the top quick, and you do too. And if that's not the right personality type for someone, then they know right off the bat that I'm not for them. But if it is what they want, they are looking to go fast, they like the high energy, then we're a perfect fit. But you don't see that in just the written post. You don't see that in pretty pictures. So I love when people get on and do some letting us hear your voices. And that's why you and I are loving, Clubhouse and the app and places we can get to know us and our voices and talk to each other, because I feel that's really important. What do you think?
Absolutely, right? Because you never know. And also, the post does say something. But when you come in and do a live, they hear your voice, they hear your
Oh yeah,
background, right? They see so many different things. Even if you're
I've
nervous,
seen some.
even if you're
Oh
nervous,
yeah,
ladies, show up, show up. You get better
you
as
really
you
need.
go. I had a podcast once upon a time, and some of those episodes, I'm talking blackmail, okay? Because I hired a producer, and I had a voice coach, and I had all those things. But the first couple of episodes, they were rough. But you know what? I showed up and I got better and I
Mm,
got better. And that's what it is, right? The first ones are going
just
to
like
be,
with anything.
yeah, just like anything, right?
Awesome.
But it's the showing
Right.
up and the connecting and showing that you truly care. It's not about the transaction, it's about building the relationships.
Absolutely. So back to the diamond method now, because we know they all need to show up, be consistent, be willing to do the 4-letter word, which is work. But so many women that I know, they're willing to do it all, and they work really hard, 24/7. They're working, 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 and we know there's a difference between working and busy work and being profitable and the ROI work that really brings in the money. So let's keep diving into how do they make more money. If you could give us a couple more tips before we wrap up the show on, all right, they're listening and they're willing to do the work. They would love to know what to do, how to price. What are the biggest obstacles they can overcome when getting this pricing right for them, the value that they give, and any lessons learned on why they're not charging what they should.
And it's going to be 10 magical calls. Not that you decided, people are telling you your fees are too low, you're going to increase it. I don't care what you increase it to. Yes, you can look at the competition, but increase it 300, 500, double it. It doesn't matter. Now that you know that this is your price point, you did the 3 posties and one of those prices jumped at you, you're going to go out and you're going to have 10 enrolling practice. I emphasize practice conversations. You're not looking to sell anybody, you're just practicing. Something happens between call number 5 and 7 where your mind,
Hmm.
your heart, and your body become in alignment with that price.
Ooh, I like that.
10 practice calls, ladies. My success right now is one client enrolled two new clients during, she wasn't attempting to, right? She was just practicing. This is what I do. This is who it helps. Who do you know that can better, right? She was just practicing. And that's what practicing is all about, because you detach from the outcome. When you know
And
that you're just shooting to have 10 calls, something
within what
magical happens.
time frame? Do you have a
Well,
magical time frame?
the faster the better. So I've
Okay,
had
but what's
people,
your
the
magic
faster the
timeline?
better. But normally it's about 10 days,
Okay, so
right?
10 calls, 10 days.
10 calls, 10
That
days.
could
You
be
can do
10
one a
calls.
day.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 10 calls, 10
I like
days,
that. That's a lot of time. Get 10 days and 3 days. Come on, people. You can do this. Faster the better. But 10
Well,
one
but you
call a
know what?
day, that's slow.
I'm allowing some time there because we don't want to go to your current clients. So I'm allowing some time there. When I say 10 days is for you to possibly go to some new networking events and meet some new people. So I'm
I gotcha. Meet some new people.
right. So I'm factoring that in, giving you that
That's
10
nice.
days because
Okay.
you're going to go to new places and find new people to talk to.
That's a
But the
good point.
actual
So just
making
go
of the
back and talk to the
calls,
people.
3 days will take it, right? 3 calls each day, you're good to go.
I love it. Now, you were talking about a couple of questions that I heard from the side of my ear a moment ago. What you're saying on the call. Do you have a list of questions that they should be asking? Do you have an outline? Don't give it to us now. If it's part of your diamond method. We want people to tap into you and talk to you. Have a discovery call with you. How you can help them. But can you give us any suggestions on some of the things or ways to structure those particular calls, or do they just completely wing it?
No way, no way. There's no wing in here, ladies. No wing. We
No
got to
winging.
prepare, prepare, prepare. We must have. Oh my
Hmm.
God, I'm going to put that at a $25,000 question. We must have pre-qualifying questions. When somebody books a time to speak with you, have no more than 5. I'd say
Do you
ask for
help
their
them with it?
website.
Do you help your clients with this?
Oh, absolutely. Because depending on your
Okay.
industry, right? Have your website, have
Right.
your LinkedIn, and then 3 questions that are going to tell you whether this person is ready for your service. They're just tire kickers. And this is going to be painful, ladies, but please, please hear me out. If they don't take the time to complete those questions, do not approve that time. If they can't take,
Say that again. Chella, say that again. That's really important. Will save so much time. And I have found this to be true myself. So please repeat
absolutely,
that
somebody does not answer your questions before
in the
they book a
survey.
call, send them a nice little message. Thank you for whatever, whatever, because now you have their email. Thank you for signing. However, I see that you did not complete my questions. I will not be able to honor our time. That's it.
Do you give them a
But
second
this,
chance? Say, you missed answering this question. Fill this out so we can book the call. Do you give them another
you
chance, or is it just sorry?
no, I could say yes. See, you're nicer at this than I am, but yes, I will give him a second chance. I see that you didn't complete the questions. Before I can honor our time together, please complete the questions.
There you go. I like
However,
that. And then if they don't, then it's like next. See ya. That's fine.
you don't have
Perfect.
time. Save yourself that 20
Right.
minutes. So make sure that you have some questions pre-qualifying to your products. Let's say that we are wellness and I have a lose weight kind of product. If the person is not willing to tell me if they're ready to invest or how much weight they want to lose, I don't have time for you, right?
How about a
Because you're
why?
not
Why
answering.
do you want to lose?
Why do you want to
Why do you
lose the
want to
weight?
lose weight now? Because
Why is
it
this
might
important to
be
you
a
now?
high school reunion coming up or a wedding or something.
Why is this important to you now? So anybody that
Mhm.
doesn't answer those questions, but this is the other magic. Let's say they answered your questions, you have them booked on your calendar. Ladies, we're going to do a little bit of research on them. We're going to go to their
Yeah. Oh,
website.
yeah.
That's what we asked for that. We're going to go to their LinkedIn profile and we're going to find out a little bit about them. We're looking for some common ground here. We're looking for something that we have in common, right? Something outside of work, sometime outside of what they do. What are their hobbies? Where do they go to school? Where do they volunteer? right? What do they
Mhm.
enjoy doing? If you go to my profile, you're going to see that I am a baker and a friend, and it's right on my LinkedIn. My friend of mine drove 60 miles in LA traffic. So, for some of you outside of Los Angeles, that's about a 3 hour one way adventure,
Wow.
right? So, he drove for 3 hours to pick up some baked goodies. So that's fun. Somebody that bakes can identify with me. Somebody that doesn't, right? So look for those things that you have in common, not from a fake, I want to connect. No, but something that means something to you, right? So I do get a
Right.
lot of bakers wanting to they ask for recipes, I gotta say,
Oh,
right?
I love that.
But
I love that.
so do some research before you actually meet with that person because now you have something in common. You're going to be able to get into a deeper conversation faster.
Which makes sense for the 10 calls in 10 days because now you're really calling those people on purpose. It's kind of like what I do when I'm booking a podcast. I don't just, I have to have these spread out. If I meet somebody today and they get on my calendar for tomorrow, I have to have it on we have it now scheduled into my calendar that if they're trying to schedule today, they can't schedule for until a week out because that gives me time. And there's a setting in my back office to do that. So you can't get on my schedule like day after tomorrow because I wouldn't have enough time to look into the guest and be well prepared and do my job to be able to ask all the right questions and do a great interview. So it's really important that I see how to have that 10 days. So each one of those calls isn't just, hey, how you doing? And would you like to? It's well thought out. You've researched them. Not only do you think you want to call them, but you also feel they're a good fit already for you. And then you have a chance to send them a survey and then do their part as well. So now it's such a great, pretty much a win-win call. It's just a matter of you need to have that confidence now in charging what you're worth. It's not should they do business with you. You already know that they should. They be a good fit. You can help them. You have all the quality. You have everything. Some wins that they could have. It's just now a matter of you saying, "This is how much it's going to be. This is what I'm going to service you with. This is what results you'll get." And then it's when do you start versus, well, I don't know if you're a good fit. What do you do again? Such a more strategic call.
And it's value, time value, right? Yes, you
Yes.
did invest a little bit of time doing the research. However, at the end of the game, it's saving you time, right? Because now you're
Really is.
having a deeper conversation. You don't need to reschedule to go deeper. You can have this first call conversation. Is this a person that I want to continue with? Or is this person is just not, is we're not a fit. That's it.
Right.
We're not a fit.
I love that. So, Chella, as we wrap up now, this has been so good. I really hope this is giving women confidence to know their worth, charge what they're worthy of charging, knowing their value. And I love your 3 points. I've put out those three prices and let one really talk to you because that really makes sense because we know what we think we should be charging. We know what something's worth. I'm sure everybody that's listening and they know their industry. They probably bought something in their industry before from another person who sells a similar product or similar service. So it's not just drawing at straws. So in these last couple of moments, if you could tell the women anything from your diamond method, what are some of the last aha moments and golden nuggets you'd like to leave some women with that are thinking, gosh, should I call Chella? Should I talk to her? Talk to us about what your ideal person to reach out to you would be
Oh
like.
my goodness, ladies, I am so always open to have a conversation after you fill out the questions. But no,
Do they find that on LinkedIn? Do you have that survey on LinkedIn?
yes, yes,
Okay,
all of
great.
it is on LinkedIn. But right now, if you're on the fence, if people have told you you're too low, if people have already suggested that you're not charging enough, look at that as a sign. It is time to increase your prices. I
Okay.
gave you some tips. Are you already making the list? Having 10 enrolling conversations. If that works for you, fabulous. I am happy for you. I am cheering you on. If there's some monkeys that are showing up, they're like, oh no, I can't charge that price.
There's
Oh
those
no, no,
monkeys.
what are people going to say? If there's some monkeys showing up, let's have a conversation. I don't really do a pitch. I practice what I preach. We have a conversation. Sometimes all you need is a 5-minute conversation with me to change things around. And I'm always, always happy to do that because I want more women making more money So let's face it, at the end of the day, so can give back more. Yes, I want to make
Amen.
we all give back more. When we make more,
Yeah.
we're all going to give back more. So reach out to me.
Do you do
Let's
any
have
kind
that
of
conversation.
Do you have any kind of like on my customer journeys? Every month I do a free masterclass on teaching how to do a TV podcast. Then I have a 3-day boot camp. But every other month, every 8 to 10 weeks, do you have a customer journey where you have some group freebies that you invite people to come
Yes,
to
I
experience
have
you?
it. I have a LinkedIn audio actually. So you can always go to
Nice.
my page events, and I have a LinkedIn audio that I've been doing. And I also do a LinkedIn live where I come in and give tips. I'm not quite as organized as you, so but I'm getting. This is it, ladies. My commitment to you is that I'm getting better and better. So I'm going to be showing up at least once a month and doing this
Awesome.
because I want you to get to know me. I want you to get the
Yes.
tips. I want you to go out and take action. And this is the way to do it.
I love that. I love that. And it's not something it just happens. Success doesn't happen on accident. It is worked on. It is done on purpose. And I am just the result of so many pivots since the pandemic because I was completely in person and the pandemic threw me completely online. And everything I fought before BP before the pandemic, I had to embrace the pandemic, and it took coaches, it took forcing me, it took me not wanting to do it to I better do this or I'll be out of business. So I'm organized now because I chose to be, and it wasn't easy. And I fought it a lot. I'm like, gosh, the world doesn't need another email campaign. The world doesn't need another coach. But once I found my sweet spot by trial and error and utilizing the audio apps that have just been life-saving for me because I love to speak. I don't like a lot of emails. I don't like a lot of that, written word and LinkedIn articles. I really love to experience people. And when I found my niche, in those audio apps, it really made a difference. But I worked hard at having that customer journey. And I think coupled with knowing you now, Chella, this is a perfect collaboration we can do. And I love collaborating now so much that I help them have that customer journey and you can help them price it properly and show up with the pricing they deserve. So we're definitely going to have some synergy coming together for sure.
I love it. It has been a pleasure. I am so glad we did this. And I
Me too.
cannot
Me
wait
too.
to see what success your listeners have.
I'm so excited. So excited. Now I have to ask you my favorite question of all questions. I used to have, now my television show was Live Your Legacy TV, the one that won all these awards. I'm all about living your best legacy. I had a Live Your Legacy Summit where I brought nonprofits and successful entrepreneurs together to meet one another and let God do the miracles in their lives. So I love to ask my guest, what is your legacy? How do you want to be remembered on this earth after all is said and done?
And I'm currently working on that. I want to be remembered. I'm working on an app. I want to be remembered for the person that made managing money and living your best life easily and effortlessly.
Ooh, I like that. Easy and effortlessly. Well, you are well on your way, Chella. I am so glad we had this time together. Any last words? Any last golden nugget for us before we close out?
Ladies, go out and take one action today because one action is going to help you get closer to your goal.
One action. I like that. One more phone call. Get that survey. Who do you use for your surveys? What program do you use
For
to do
my
surveys?
surveys,
Is someone a
I do
survey?
have an app for that. So,
Oh, you do? Okay.
yeah.
So I'm going to encourage everybody, go to LinkedIn, go find Chella Diaz. It's right here on the screen right now. Take her survey, get to know her, get a discovery call with her. She's also on the Owl app. She's on Clubhouse. She's in all the places. We all know each other from in there. And it really, really does help when who you know. And we're here freely and willingly saying, here, we're here to help you. Have a call with us. And I know you're a lot like me, Chella, where if we're the next best fit, then we're going to run with you. But if we're not, we may have a person that is their next best fit. Like if you have somebody that wants to charge well, but you're thinking they really need to revamp their program, there might be somebody else that needs to take them to that level so then you could price it properly. We all know where none of us are Yoda. We all have our expertise. If we all work together, then we help more people, especially women, be more successful as a community. So do you agree with that?
Absolutely. If we're not a fit, it's going to be painful, right? It's going to be a struggle.
Mhm.
I'd rather you go out and
Right.
fix whatever it is need to be done, and then you'll be ready for me. And we are really good about that. We're not going to take on somebody
We are
unless I know I can help you, because otherwise,
right now,
we're
today.
wasting each other's
Yeah.
times. We're wasting each other's
Yeah. We don't
time.
want to waste time or money. Absolutely. And when it's the right time, it's perfect. And we, and women especially, we love to buy. We want to buy what's next best step for us, but we hate to be sold to. And I always hate those gimmicks like buy today and you get this, 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 and this, and you don't get it if you buy tomorrow. It's like if it's a right fit for today, let's do this. If it's not, when it is a right fit, come back to me. It's not going to be less magical 2 weeks from today or 2 months from today. That's how I run my business. You can always do a little incentive, but it really will always, always be wonderful to work with me, to work with you. And you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, you don't do it today, it's not going to be as good. Because that's where I think you get that disconnect of people not ready to do the work and not truly ones that can tap into us right now. And it just makes buyer mistakes. And I don't like that.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Totally agree.
Chella, you've been fabulous. All right, ladies, get out there, get with Chella Diaz, go to LinkedIn and start getting paid what you're worth. Start getting that right price point that you might be floundering with. Because I know that was a big issue. Even just a couple of years ago, women didn't know what to price their programs, because being an online coach or being in a service-based industry, pricing can be everything. Unlike when you're in direct sales or you're selling a certain product that already has a price on it. Nothing you can do. It is the price. Go out and market it. But when you're selling services and things that aren't tangible like that, that price point can be such an obstacle. And so many women never get it. And so they fail only because they fail to get help, like from people like you, Chella. So Chella, thank you so much for being here on Get Celebritized, helping these ladies earn more so they can live more, so they can give back more. You're perfect fit, Chella. And I hope you return back in the future and tell us more golden nuggets about your diamond method for women. Thank you, Chella, so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Until next time on Get Celebritized, have a great day or evening, and get out there and earn more, live more, and give more. Bye for now.